Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and today I'm going to do a representation of the Phantom books. This is a book called The Son of the Phantom. It was published by a company called Whitman. This is Whitman book number 2330, and this is a facsimile cover. And the book is obviously based on the Phantom comic strip created by Lee Falk, and it actually follows the story by Lee Falk in anyway its initial origins. The writer of the series is actually a guy named Dale Robertson, who wrote uh, this novel for the Whitman series. Whitman published a lot of kids' books, and this one, like I said, is a facsimile cover. And this is copyright 1944 by King Features. And the art looks like it is done by, it has the Wilson McCoy style from the cover there. And some of the interior images. It doesn't say who the artist is. It says Ray Moore, but it has the Wilson, Wilson McCoy kind of style. Anyway, so this is the Son of the Phantom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the Phantom paperbacks and look through the books as we present them. And the series, of course, was created by none other than Lee Falk back, I believe, in 1937. He was one of the first heroes. I would call him more like a superhero, one of the early progenitors of what a superhero came to be. Anyway, so this is The Son of the Phantom, the Whitman book from 44. And this is the story of the Phantom, and doesn't diverge too far from the book that you saw there from the Whitman book. The story is almost close to being similar. The cover art is by none other than George Wilson. And George Wilson was a prolific painter artist who painted a lot of covers for various companies, even Classics Illustrated with The Time Machine. And he also painted the first gold key painted covers of featuring the Phantom. This is book number 2. It's called The Slave Market of Mukar. It also features a cover by a painting by George Wilson. And I can show you the publication dates. This is a very fine copy. As you can see, it's white pages. Probably never read. This is from 1972. This also is a very fine copy, and also from 1972. And you can see the text block has that red ink on the text block. This is the Scorpion Menace. This is number 3. It has a lot of rubbing on the cover. This is from 1972. And this, number 2 was written by a writer named Basil Copper. Basil Copper wrote created the Solar Pawns mystery series. And the number 3 is also written by Basil Copper, the Scorpion Menace. These are all novelizations of the strips. They are actually from the newspaper strips. The next novel is The Veiled Lady, and this is another fine copy. You can see text block has a nice, pages are near white. And this is from 1973. And it tells you a little bit about who the authors are. So number 4 was written by Ron Goulart, who wrote a lot of this type of novel. The next one is called The Golden Circle. This is a very fine copy. This is number 5. This is also written by Ron Goulart. Features an introduction. You see their original story, Frank S. Shawn. Frank S. Shawn is Ron Goulart. This is from copyright 1973. And it features an origin, how it all began over 400 years ago. And that was written by, as it says there, Lee Falk. And like I said, these are novelizations of the comic strip. Number 6 is written by Lee Falk. This one is a novelization by Lee Falk himself. Again, the cover art is by George Wilson. And copyright you see there is 1973. Slightly more faded with a slight spine roll. This is number 6, The Mysterious Ambassador. Number 7 is another fine copy with a slight rubbing over here. And it features, this is Frank S. Shawn. This is Ron Goulart. And this is from 1973. All right. Mystery of the Seahorse, number 7. Number 8 is also by Ron Goulart. This is The Hydra Monster. This one has a spine roll. And I've had this one for years. This is from copyright 1973. Nice cover by George Wilson. The Hydra Monster. And the next one in the series is number 9. It's Killer's Town. And this one is written by Lee Falk himself. And the copyright here is 1973. These are all paperback originals. This one has a slight spine roll cracking on the spine, of course, from being well read. Nicely tight pages. Killer's Town. Number 10 is by Ron Goulart. This is the Goggle-Eyed Pirates. You can see it has rubbing on the cover. Features an introduction. 1974, the copyright. The Goggle-Eyed Pirates. And again, this was a newspaper strip that was eventually novelized into this book. All right, let me move these around so that you can get a better look at the other covers. Number 11 is this. This is the Swamp Rats. Cover again by George Wilson. And it's written by Ron Goulart. This one has a slight spine roll. And it looks like it's one of the ones I have owned for years. 1974. This is number 12. This is The Vampires and the Witch. George Wilson cover. Copyright 1974. Number 12. This one was by Lee Falk. Number 13. The Island of Dogs. This one was written by a writer named Warren Shanahan. It's number 13, The Island of Dogs. And yeah, it's a George Wilson cover, as you see, signed by the author. This is copyright 1975. And it gives you a list of the people who wrote these books. And of course, Frank S. Shawn is a pseudonym for Ron Goulart. This one is Warren Shanahan, who actually is the writer of that novel. Number 14 is by a mystery novelist named Bruce Cassidy. It's called The Assassins. Again, it's a novelization of the comic strip. And it's Bruce Cassidy. Number 15 is the last of the Avon books. And this is The Curse of the Two-Headed Bull. And it's the only one that didn't feature the Phantom in his uniform on the cover. Cover art is by George Wilson. It's signed. It's a nice cover. There you go. And this is copyright 1975. And this one was written actually by Lee Falk. All right, so I wanted to do a representation of the Phantom paperbacks, just so you can get a good look at what the books are like and get a sense of how the quality of the artwork, the quality of the books. They're great stories, very easy reading, and they're written with a style of like Danger Man, and when I read through the books, I mean they are pulp type novels, but when I read through the books, I felt like I was reading a Patrick McGoohan adventure of Danger Man, because that's the style I think that inspired the writing of these books. But anyway, as you know, Patrick McGoohan also played in the role of the Phantom in the 1996 film with Billy Zane in the title role of the Phantom. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Phantom novels, and I'll be attaching some of the images of the people that I mentioned. And always feel free to give me that thumbs up. And thanks everyone for your subscriptions, as the channel has grown quite a bit. And again, I appreciate the comments. There's always very insightful, very things that I did not know about some of the books that I've presented in the past. So those of you who have access into the internet are in for a treat when you find out some of the information that my commenters have contributed to some of my presentations. All right. Thanks. Bye.